Are we on? Okay. So, comments on the closed session agenda? Any person report out of closed session, right?
Comentarios sobre la agenda, sesión a puerta cerrada.
Report out of closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Mr.
Moción.
Montes.
Secundada.
Aye.
Mr.
Secundada.
Martinez.
Aye.
Ms. Lewis, aye.
Bien, vamos a tomar lista.
Motion to open. Is there a report out of the closed session?
Oh shoot, I closed it.
Sorry, I don't
I
think
can't
you're-
listen.
President Lewis, we are actually up here.
Yes. Comments on the closed session agenda?
No,
No, we're not.
no, we just adjourned
Adjourn out of closed session, and now we're open
sessions.
to
You're right.
reconvene.
Reconvene.
Okay, and so it gives me great pleasure to announce Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Report out of closed session.
Yes, thank you, President Lewis. The Board of Education denied the request for an unpaid leave of absence for classified employee number 2428534 from July 17th, 2023 through October 25th, 2023. The roll call vote was unanimous. And the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Cynthia Poole, High School Assistant Principal, Eisenhower High School. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Thank you. Okay, I have a readout prior to the adoption of the agenda. The board would like to amend the following items on the consent calendar on page 54 of the open agenda as follow. Cynthia Gomez, reclassification from clerk typist 2 to clerk typist 3. Reclassification copies of the corrected page is available to the public and can be found on the reception counter in the front lobby.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Mingus,
Aye.
Mr. Montez,
Aye.
Mr. Martinez,
Aye.
Mrs. O'Kelly,
Aye.
and I. Do we have any presentation? None? Okay. Comments. Public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any items not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
Yes, yes.
As amended.
We have Paula Bailey.
Good evening, Board President, Cabinet, and Superintendent and viewing audience. I am Paula Bailey, and I'm excited to say this school year has started out amazing. Before the school year started, I was contacted by the Eisenhower newly appointed principal and team because they were putting together a parent-student panel. They wanted feedback on what made people happy, what they needed, so that the students can be successful. There were students there that talked about what worked for them, what would they like to see different. And it was very refreshing to see that they really took value and time and interest in having this panel present, and all the staff was there. It was in the theater. So everybody was there, and it was really nice.
Tener a este panel presente. Entonces todos estaban allí. Can you please come here so you can see what I'm talking about?
Come up to me and thank me for the input.
It's because it's a couple minutes. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
second. Yeah, that's why she's hearing it. It's because she's hearing it through here. Just mute the Spanish. Why are you watching Spanish? It should be
Be
English.
amazing, but we can't forget about the rest of the school. Make sure that it matches up to that beautiful construction. You know, because
No
I know
podemos
Mr.
olvidarnos
Martinez, he's looking at me like, yep, we've talked
del
about this.
resto,
You know, we just got
para
to
que
keep in
no
mind
podemos
how the
olvidarnos
rest of the school looks like it belongs
del
together
resto.
with the new stuff. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At this time, do we have a seat for our translator? Do we have a chair? It might be a long night if someone. Yes. Would you like a seat? You're standing up. Can we bring him a chair while the next
It's on
person?
its way.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Appreciate your service.
Appreciate your service.
Bueno, I was on the Spanish one. Oh,
Next we have San
okay.
Bernardino County
Thank you, sir. A
Supervisor.
continuación tenemos al supervisor Joe Baca Jr.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, board members, honorable superintendent, guests.
Buenas tardes, presidenta, miembros, honorable superintendente, visitantes y maestros, también maestras. Gracias por estar aquí hoy. Un placer y honor estar aquí. Yo sé que tienen un artículo en su agenda, en su fuente de G11, en donde el condado de San Bernardino, can you get Juan? Está presentando 2.7 millones de dólares para el distrito unificado de Rialto. Para ponerles un poquito de contexto, para mí yo fui criado en Rialto, California. Yo fui a Morgan Frisbee, Eisenhower. Yeah, but we can't both do it at the same time because we need to take turns. Yes, that's why we have to. Okay, entonces, I have it here. I have it here. He needs to turn his off. Right, he turns his off, I start. Es muy importante para mí el poder regresar a donde yo proviene. Nunca olvidar mis raíces y Rialto unificado y lo mucho que significa para mí. Entonces, lo que vamos a estar haciendo es vamos a estar presentando un cheque de 2.7 millones de dólares para el Distrito Unificado de Rialto. Pero solamente para darles un poco de contexto, 1.2 millones va a estar dirigido a Rialto, a la preparatoria de Rialto para poder hacer mejoras a la cancha y luces, alumbrados. Sabemos que el estado de California es mandato de también es muy difícil para nuestros atletas, aquellos que practican deporte, especial béisbol y softball, donde no tienen la oportunidad para poder tener este tipo de entrenamiento más tarde. Entonces va a ayudar con eso. Y también en la preparatoria Eisenhower tenemos 1.1 mil millones para poder para Eisenhower para poder mejorar el alumbrado en la cancha. Para mí es algo personal porque yo entrené en esa, yo también fui coach en esa cancha, muy orgulloso de ser un Regal y más que nada para poder aportar y por parte del condado de San Bernardino es un honor y privilegio poder darles un cheque de 2.7 millones de dólares. Quiero traer aquí la mesa directiva y el superintendente para que puedan pasar a tomar una foto y felicidades, felicidades.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Joe Baca and Junior.
Muchas gracias, superintendente Joe Baca Jr.
Oh.
¿Cómo podemos meter ese cheque en el cajero automático?
Next we have Michael
No hay problema. A continuación tenemos a Michael.
Next we have Michael Montano.
A continuación tenemos a Michael Montano.
Okay.
That's all we have. Okay.
Madam President, we can always come back.
Madam President, we can always come back. Okay. It's not
Is
here.
it public comments on the agenda item?
Is it public comments on the
Off the
agenda
agenda?
item?
Comentario público para los artículos agendados. ¿Fuera de la agenda? No lo tengo.
Okay.
Ok.
Good evening, everyone in attendance and viewing audience.
Good evening, everyone.
Buenas tardes a todos los concurrentes y los que nos ven en casa.
Two things. I had previously
Una de las
spoke
cosas,
last
yo
year
previamente había
on
hablado el año
teacher
pasado
recovery.
acerca del desgaste de los docentes. Bueno, no estamos desgastados ahorita y estamos nuevos. Apaga el tuyo, apaga el tuyo. Pero como digo, cuando los maestros se desgastan es cuando nos han dejado y es lo que conlleva a eso. Y todavía tenemos algunas plazas vacantes. Hay un maestro que yo tengo en mente que ha estado con el distrito por varios años y ahora está tratando de entrar a diferente aspecto porque ese maestro está en desgaste donde está actualmente y ese maestro, su sentir es que el maestro se le ignoró para este puesto porque necesitamos maestros en donde está ese maestro. Y entonces, por favor, tengan presente no impulsar el desgaste de nuestros maestros, porque en vez de que ese maestro pueda entrar a la plaza que quiere, si continúa así, vamos a estar buscando dos puestos. Si ese maestro decide dejarnos debido a que se siente ya en desgaste en este puesto. Segundo, que no tenía yo planeado hablar de ello. Vieron el número de personas allá afuera, varias. Me dijeron, me susurraron el hacerles saber que si tenemos que, vamos a regresar con más. Así es que solo les comparto eso. Aparte de eso, el calor, bueno, qué bueno que tenemos días que hemos tenido otros días no tanto, está caluroso, hay que mantenerse hidratado, pero a nuestros maestros se les pide mucho. Estamos ahorita todavía fresquecitos, por favor, no los desgastemos. Tenemos a Tammy Welsh. Hola, mi nombre es Tammy Welsh y yo soy de Myers cuarto y esto es algo improvisado y quiero decirles cerca de un día del año pasado, era como media de mañana, media de año, no puedo pensar ese día sin empezar a llorar. Hubo un anuncio que en el plantel dijeron, esto no es un simulacro, inmediatamente 39 niños, bebés me voltearon a ver, tenían la confianza en mí y les dije, cúbranse. Mandé 2 estudiantes a que cerraran las cortinas y otros 2 a que revisaran la puerta y que empecé a dar vueltas por mi salón tratando de asegurar cómo es que yo iba a matar a alguien o morir sin decirle adiós a mis 3 hijas y a mis 9 nietas. Yo tenía un bate y cada vez que veía contacto, bueno, y esos niños se portaron tan bien, tan calladitos, porque confiaban en mí, porque yo fomenté esa confianza todo el año. Algunos de ustedes han estado en mi clase. Yo vengo aquí todos los días y todos los días sé que esto pudiera volver a ocurrir. Yo iba a dar mi vida porque esos niños valían la pena para mí. El venir aquí hoy, el tener que estar afuera, siento como que yo conozco lo que valgo para ustedes. Cuando pienso en esto, nunca nadie me ha preguntado a mí si yo estoy bien. Y había tantos otros maestros en mi escuela haciendo lo mismo con estos bebés. Y yo mantuve la calma. Y sucede que todos estábamos bien, a final de cuentas, pero ese día nunca me abandonará. Y no quería irme a casa sin haber compartido eso. Gracias. Gracias. Mónica Tomás.
Good evening, everybody.
Buenas tardes a todos.
So I
that's here.
Los que están viendo y todos los que están presentes. Entonces, yo quiero saber que cuando empiece el ciclo escolar para matemáticas no vamos a tener a Alex. Así es que de pronto todos los maestros van a tener que aprender cosas nuevas y para mi bebé que es especial en casa, dice, yo no sé qué hacer, volvieron como 3 años a entender cómo ser Alex y ahora tengo que enseñarle. Yo no sé por qué seguimos cambiando los diferentes programas cada cuando, no sé si es que se acaba el contrato, bueno, vamos a probar algo nuevo. Pero es muy confuso para nuestros bebés con necesidades especiales que están haciendo todo lo posible y luego en las clases de educación general y de pronto se quedan, a ver, espérame, tengo que practicar esto y aparte aprender un programa nuevo con el que la maestra está tratando de aprender a veces también. No es la mejor idea, pero no sé quién tome esas decisiones.
Also,
También,
the last couple years,
los el último par de años, 4 años, he estado escuchando a diferentes personas hablar acerca de la inclusión, pero nadie me puede explicar cómo creen que los niños de educación especial pueden entrar de educación general. Nada en contra de los maestros de educación general, pero se requieren cosas especiales para poder lidiar con los niños especiales. No estoy diciendo que nuestros bebés especiales no pueden aprender, porque cada niño con el que yo he trabajado puede aprender, solamente que aprenden a un ritmo diferente, pero nadie puede entender que van a estar bajo tanta presión, va a ser caótico y nuestros hijos son los vecinos de Indias y por favor, si vamos a hablando de inclusión, tengan todo establecido. Si te voy a hacer una pregunta, yo tengo una respuesta, porque la inclusión no solamente es algo que puede nada más aventarle a la gente. Y así es como todo el mundo sigue hablando de eso, según yo. Porque si no, su hijo puede ir y yo, sí, ok, pero esto cómo se va a dar. Y tienes para que ella no va a tener que pasar, que va a perderse en el tumulto. Y bueno, mi trabajo es, ¿verdad?, estar segura de esto, ¿verdad? Porque soy una... Pero ¿por qué tengo yo que estar teniendo que decir, voy a trabajar para este distrito o voy a ser alguien que aboga por mí? Porque no va a tener tiempo para hacer las dos cosas. Así es que la inclusión tiene inmediatamente que resolverla si es que van a seguir impulsándola, porque lo único que sigo escuchando, la inclusión por parte de los padres, lo vamos a hacer. Y luego con empleados sigo diciendo que lo vamos a hacer también, digo, ok, yo no veo que hayan planes y eso me asusta. Eso es lo principal. Gracias por escucharme. Y claro, rojo, porque hay que apoyar a los maestros.
Ana González.
Gracias. Ana González.
Good evening, happy Wednesday.
Buenas tardes, feliz miércoles. Y feliz regreso a clases de esta semana, muy emocionada. Estoy aquí obviamente aquí en solidaridad con nuestros maravillosos maestros. Así es que adelante, maestros. También estoy aquí para poder ser solidaria como personal facilitado porque siempre es una comunidad a final de cuentas. Pero también estoy aquí para poner una conversación y pedir del Departamento de Administración de Riesgos que empiecen a auspiciar reuniones comunitarias con nuestros padres para poder tratar la salud de nuestros niños y especialmente para nuestros maestros también, porque tenemos una proliferación de vivienda que viene a nuestras comunidades y eso de hecho está incrementando los rangos de asma y desarrollo y atrasos en desarrollo y se preguntan por qué nuestros niños están teniendo retrasos de desarrollo y problemas conductuales. ¿Saben por qué? Porque todo eso está conectado con la contaminación, las emisiones diésel, los NOx, el ozono y claro, el calor. Nuestros veranos cada vez más calurosos porque tenemos estas junglas de concreto en nuestras comunidades. Entonces muchos de los líderes en esta comunidad creen que eso es una mentira, pero no es así. Y los maestros saben más que nadie que nuestros estudiantes han tenido un incremento en problemas conductuales y todo se ve conectado con la contaminación. ¿Saben qué? También nuestros maestros y el personal están en riesgo cuando nosotros permitimos que esto ocurra. Y llega un momento de que la Administración de Riesgos hable y haga algo al respecto, porque ACOMD manda las notificaciones de aire insalubre al distrito para que no permitan que los estudiantes estén en el exterior en condiciones malas ambientales y estos días de aire, de calidad del aire mala. Y este año yo voy a estar al día con eso, porque muchos de los estudiantes salieron en esos días de baja calidad de aire. Voy a seguir viniendo aquí y en nuestra comunidad para poder abordar este asunto, porque hay muchas inquietudes por parte de nuestros padres. Y hubo una maravillosa difusión comunitaria el último mes para hablar con muchos de nuestros miembros de la comunidad y sus inquietudes. Están preocupados por lo que está haciendo el distrito al respecto, porque es su derecho al proteger la seguridad y salud de sus estudiantes. Muchas gracias y adelante, maestros. Gracias. Esto lo
Public
tenemos para
comments
los
on the
artículos que no
agenda
estaban
items. Any
agendados.
persons who
Gracias,
wish to
comentario
speak on
público.
any
Porción
items on the agenda will be
agendado.
given 3
Personas que
minutes.
quieran hablar en algunos artículos que hayan agendados. Se les consideran 3 minutos. Michael Montano.
Hey, back again.
Ok,
Is it,
estoy aquí de nuevo.
we have it there. Can you
Ya
speak
se me
on
olvidó el nombre que tienes por ahí.
hiring
Vine a
teacher
hablar
teachers
acerca
for those
de
teachers that do not have
los
the
maestros
credentials?
pasantes.
And
Esos son los
a lot of
maestros
us
que no tienen las
spoke
credenciales.
last year that this
Algunos de
traditionally
nosotros
happens.
hablamos de esto el año pasado,
You know,
que tradicionalmente esto
twice
ocurre,
elementary position has been posted, so
y 2
I
veces
believe
en,
it's
en la
still
primaria,
elementary intern,
y
which
no, no,
looking back to
you
last
can't
year,
interpret at the same time.
we let one go
Para
last
poder
year,
estar viendo eso del año pasado, you
produced
have to take
very good
turns.
scores
Para
for
poder
every
dejar uno,
student. And we saw this coming.
but then how do we connect here?
We need
Para que
to
entonces podamos ver esto
value
venir,
our teachers and
tenemos
protect
que
teachers
valorar a
that
nuestros maestros
have a good
y
track record
proteger
of producing scores
para poder tener un buen
that
registro.
again probably wouldn't have to hire
Oh,
as
past
many
this?
interns if we were competitive with other schools.
No,
And
seguramente
attracting
no tendríamos que
senior
contratar a
teachers
tantos.
would
Un
be
momento, por favor, les habla el intérprete. Estamos resolviendo algunos
challenging.
problemas técnicos. Les agradecemos su paciencia. Okay, so,
Comments from
okay, listen, no.
members?
So I'm not interpreting here,
REA.
but what about this? I'm not interpreting for.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. In my life, I've seen lots of people who've had power. Some people use their power in ways that are beneficial, and some people use it in ways that are negative or harmful.
Okay,
I
that's fine.
often
So,
find myself
so then,
associating with people
do you
with
want to go in there now?
Yeah. Wanting
Okay,
to change
and then
things.
I'll be there. I'll be there in
Tonight,
that
I'm
one.
going to talk about something just different that I thought was a really good use of power. I reached out to
I'm gonna turn this one.
our State Assembly Majority Leader, Eloise Reyes Gomez.
So then also,
And
just
she sent you
log
an
off of
email
Google Meet as well?
talking about the fact that last year, when they did their budget, at the 11th hour, at the end of June, before the budget was finalized, our state assembly proposed adding $9 billion, and it was approved into the budget over what the governor wanted to give to schools. And they did this specifically because they saw that we were having a problem in California attracting and retaining teachers. We have a national teacher shortage, and it's particularly bad. And that that inflation was eating away at our ability to maintain our middle-class life. And I thought that was a powerful thing. And so she sent you an email today affirming that that's what that money was for, and to suggest to you that you have an obligation to live up to what their intention was, which is to make sure that your teachers are taken care of in this district. And I'll tell you, when I took over as president, I was shocked when we realized that we had settled early last year before that money was dropped in at the last minute, that $9 billion. And we had an expectation, I think a reasonable expectation, that we would see that money this year, and that it wouldn't be a big fight, that it would be a pretty easy thing because you already had the money. And instead, what we've been met with consistently is an attitude that says, nope, that money's gone. We're not even going to talk about that money. We're only going to talk about this year's COLA, the money the state's giving us this year. And that's shocking to me because it doesn't fit with what I know about this district and how we treat people. And so I wanted to say that to you. I also wanted to bring this idea of use of power down to a more local level. And I wanted to thank President Lewis. A year ago, I think, we had removed the union presidents from having a space on the agenda to speak, and we were having to put in speaker slips like everybody else. And when you took over the chair of the board, you reinstated that. And I wanted to say thank you for that again, because that's a good use of power. You said, these are our employees, they deserve a space to be heard. And I want to thank you for that. You heard one of our teachers tonight speak about a situation with an intruder on campus. A lot of our teachers are dealing with complexities that you don't understand, fears and anxieties that didn't used to exist. And you may feel that it's irrational, you may feel it's not right, but it's happening. It's real to us. You know, last year before I became president, I had a member who brought a bulletproof vest to school, just in case. Thought he might have to put it on if there was a shooter on campus. These are things that happen, okay? We have told you repeatedly that violence has increased on our campuses, but our suspension rates are down. So we pat ourselves on the back that suspension rates are down, but we see fights happening all the time, and we're expected to intervene and protect children, but we've never been trained. We've never been trained. We've asked repeatedly for some training what to do in that situation, and we've essentially been told, stand there and blow a whistle. Stand there and blow a whistle. And so if we do nothing, we feel like we'll get in trouble, and if we do something, we feel like we'll get in trouble, and there's a lot of anxiety around that. We've come to you with issues around cell phones, and we've said, listen, the kids are tuning out, they're doing things that are deviant and inappropriate, and we need to do something about cell phones. And we haven't really been heard and supported to the way that we feel we should be. We have a lot of administrators in this district that don't really want to engage on that issue. They don't want that fight. But the teachers will tell you that it's a fight worth having. Last year, when I was at Coursera, we had a school that really enforced the cell phone ban. And I'll tell you, it was amazing to watch kids just being kids in the morning. They were out running around in the quad playing games with each other. When I was at Frisbee, where they did not enforce the cell phone ban, kids sat in the corners staring at screens all time in the morning. It makes a difference, and you need to listen to us. So when we come here and we talk about the fact that we expect a fair settlement, we mean it. Yesterday, I said to the superintendent that today's rally was a challenge, but it was also an opportunity. And I was trying to keep the door open with the idea that the rally today could have been a celebration. I had this very slim hope that the superintendent would call me yesterday and say, you know, let's you and I just work this deal out right now. Let's settle this contract, so that we could have had a celebration today. We want this thing to be taken care of. You made us wait all summer. We still have to wait till August 22nd before we get to meet again. If you're serious, let's get to the table. Let's settle this contract and do what's right for the teachers and all the employees in the district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, California School Employee Association, CSEA.
Good evening, Rialto Unified Family. I'm Chris Cordosco, CSEA Chapter President. I want to start off by just saying welcome to all the students. Welcome back to another year. Our first week of school has been going pretty good for classified. I haven't heard too many issues for our staff. But I do want to also want to say thank you to Dr. Avila for inviting me to Summer Strategics. Some of the challenges that we had last year were addressed by Dr. Avila directly to all of the leadership team and personnel. Put on a very good breakout session seminar for those managers to let them know what the new procedures are and some of the new changes in our contract. I will be going around. I've already started making appointments with different administrators through the district to reinforce those lessons and give a little more detail as to some of the changes in our contract, what we expect to see. And I also just want to say that we stand behind our REA brothers and sisters and siblings. I dream of us be done negotiating. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Communication Workers of America, CWA. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. Okay. Comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, President Lewis. And I've often heard the expression by those who go into retirement that after during retirement, every day seems like a Saturday. I actually don't know what a Saturday feels like, but I wish that every day was like the first day of school, because seeing the excitement, seeing the energy, the smiling faces, kids and staff, but particularly kids, just eager to learn. Nothing but joy, a lot of innocence, especially at the elementary level. And I wish that we could keep it that way every day. That is part of our goal here in the district, to address all the different concerns that have been expressed, that happen throughout the year, affecting students, affecting staff, affecting families. That continues to be the drive, the goal, the core of our focus on body, soul, and spirit. The energy that drives our strategic plan is to maintain it at that level as much as possible. Second, I want to thank Superior Grocer here in Rialto for donating 600 backpacks to Dunn Elementary School and 500 to Preston Elementary School, and all coordinated by our business office, so a big shout out to them. I've spent the last 2 days being a part of our USC Family Literacy Program. As the staff and the board knows, we have focused quite a bit on early childhood literacy. We have a dynamic program for teachers and administrators and others who want to be a part of the certification program through USC, but we started the family side of the house about a year or so ago in conversations with USC. The curriculum has been developed, and we are ready to hit the ground running this fall. We have approximately 180 families who have signed up. We're hoping that each of them is able to follow through and actually join the program. But the last couple of days, we've done orientations to different groups of families that are going to be a part of it. And just to see the excitement of parents, from parents who are in their mid-20s to those that are much older, but still willing to commit to a year-long program to be able to learn the science of reading so that they can in turn support their kids, families, community here in Rialto. And I can only envision what the community is going to be like in 10 years, after 10 years of going through this program and taking hopefully thousands of families through this process to really invest in the literacy of our community. So I do want to thank those families that are joining us this year, and I'm looking forward to doubling the size for next year, because the impact that they're going to have is going to be for a lifetime. And I can only thank them as I do the teachers who are part of this program, and just teachers in general, because of all the difference that they make for our kids. And that's all I have.
Yeah, thank you. Next, we'll go to Board Member Dominguez.
Thank you, President Lewis. Well, welcome back, scholars, families, and staff. This is my first day of school as a board member, and I am completely excited. It has been a great new experience for me, and I actually was extremely excited that I actually went around to a couple of schools to welcome our kids back and say, hey, let this year rock. So I visited Garcia Elementary, where our assistant principal, Mrs. Puncher, walked me around campus, and we visited their TK class. And this is the first year that Garcia Elementary has a TK class. And these kids, they are smart. They are smart, and they are ready to learn. They are eager to learn. I also went around to Boyd Elementary to a few other classes, and I was so excited that, yes, I went into a couple classes, but I'm just so excited to see our students ready to learn and eager to learn. I also went to Morgill Elementary, where I visited the 5th grade DLI class. And actually, that's the class that I visited last year and I read to for Read Around Rialto. So seeing them grow and flourish, and telling them and pumping them up for middle school, because they are the leaders at Morris right now. Morris Literacy Academy, Environmental Academy, right? So I am excited for them. And my last school that I went to was at Frisbee, home of the Falcons. And they flew, and they're going to fly into the galaxy with their Star Wars welcoming theme, which was really awesome. They even had a Corvette. Was it a Corvette? Yeah, it was a Corvette. And I know the kids were extremely excited to see that and be welcomed on the like a blue carpet instead of the red carpet. But they were extremely excited for that. And I actually witnessed students welcoming each other with hugs and high fives and, hey, good to see you, I missed you. So seeing that was very, very welcoming, and it was such a heartfelt moment. So I want to thank all of the administrators who took the time out to be with me at all these schools. And I also attended a lot of the welcoming meetings that we had for our staff. Those meetings were amazing. I can tell you that these meetings were to pump up our staff, and I felt pumped up. Even though I'm not technically in that department, but I felt pumped up and ready to be like, okay, let's go do this, guys. So seeing that was also very welcoming as well. And as I come to learn my role as a board member, and I being one of the newest board members, my focus this year in this school year, is safety and academics. Not only academics for our students, but also for our parents. So I'm very appreciative and very excited for our USC program that we have for our parents, because as I said before, education is a dual responsibility between parents and teachers. So let's get this year started. Let's rock Rialto, and let's do this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board Member Montez.
Thank you, Board President, Ms. Lewis. Good evening to everybody. Buenas noches. I want to welcome all of our students, parents, teachers, safety officers, everybody, all of the support staff back to new school year. It's funny, I get a kick out of seeing some of the social media posts where the parents or people kind of act to pretend to be parents, where they just can't wait to take their take their kids to school.
Eat up the refrigerator.
And I mean, some of these videos are funny because the parents are like, getting their kids ready and hurry up and whatever you need, let's go. And on the first day of school, I had the opportunity to drop off my child at Frisbee. And since I was there, I said, hey, well, let me come and greet, and say hi to some of the staff there and some of the parents there and the students. And I got there early because my wife wanted to make sure my son wasn't going to be late, right? But I wasn't the only one. I think the entire school was early. And you don't see that towards the end of the school year, right? But it was really energetic. It was really inspiring to see how excited the students were, how excited the teachers were, all of the staff members out there, the safety officers, and one of the things that I liked was that everyone was doing their part. The teachers were outside of their classrooms. Everyone is helping the kids get to the proper classrooms, showing them where to check on the boards, what classroom where their classrooms are. I had to show a few kids, hey, you look up for your last name up there on your grade board. But one of the things that I want our community to know, that safety continues to be our number one, absolute number one goal. Our most important, it's the most important thing, more than anything. I don't care, I do care. I care a lot about academics, but I care more about safety. And our safety and security officers were out there doing their thing. All of the adults, all of the staff members were out there doing their thing, making sure kids were safe. The crossing guards were making sure the kids were crossing safely. Parents were out there, stopping some other cars from, stopping in the middle of the road and dropping their kids off. So we will continue to concentrate on safety. We hear our teachers and other staff members' concerns regarding safety, and not just in the classroom, but on the school campuses. And I believe strongly that our superintendent, the leadership here at the district and this board will continue to support all of our schools and all of our employees with safety as much as possible. We care deeply about, we appreciate and we thank everyone who came to speak tonight. We strongly believe in your right and anyone's right, the community's right, to freely express their speech, their concerns. We really impressed with the rally of support that was held out here by many of the teachers and other support staff. We heard you guys loud and clear. We're doing everything that we can to help everyone in our district. We know inflation is hard on all of us. We know cost of living adjustments need to be made. We want to give everyone a raise, except for the board. But we want everyone to have a raise, and we know everyone deserves it. We know you all deserve it. And believe me, the parents on the first day of school knows you deserve it. But we're trying the best that we can. We've got tough decisions to make. We want you to know that we're here for all of you and we support all of you. And we'll try as best as we can with everything that we do, especially keeping our schools and our students and our staff safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Board Member Martinez.
I too wanted to welcome everyone back, and thank you for last year and for this coming year. I know everyone's going to do their best, as always. And I think often that how important each one of you, each one of us, is to the community. I've been retired for 15 years and I've been on the board 15 years. I do it because I love it. I do it because I am giving back to the community. And however you feel about why you're here, sometimes it's very difficult, as this year. I welcome talking to Assembly Leader Reyes. I checked twice for my email, and both home and work have not shown me an email from her. And I get them directly. She has my number, I have her number. If I can't reach her, I can reach her husband. So, you know, we can talk. If there is 9 million, we will look for it. But when you look at budgets, there's budgets per year, just like at home. A paycheck comes in and it's budgeted already most of the time.
Spent already.
Exactly. Exactly. So just like home, if it came in, if there were no ties to it, if it didn't say salary only, most of the time we hear not for salary. So I will have to dig into that. I'm concerned for this year because as we are all individuals and every individual is important, we have to remember, at least I will share, that my priorities go students, staff, and community. If everything is good all the way across, I'm fine. If anything goes against students or staff or community, I really have to assess it. And I ask you to ask questions. Ask questions, what happens, because there's hearsay, whether it's firsthand or it's secondhand. What happens if you do get a raise? How much does a teacher cost? How much is $1 million per teacher? There's all kinds of ways to look at it, but I don't want you to ask for something when it's going to possibly hurt yourselves or students, which would in turn hurt the community. So I know you deserve a raise. I know you want a raise. The board knows it. But we have to be realistic. You know, when the check came in, I look at that, I'm looking at, okay, they've said inflation. Well, here's the size of my check in my wallet. There's inflation. So it doesn't go that far, obviously. So anyway, we want everybody here, everyone deserves a raise. How do we do both? That's where I'm at, because that would be the only way to help students, staff, and community. Madam President.
Thank you. Vice President, Ms. O'Kelly.
Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to school. We are excited to have you here. But I had to be reminded of a commercial that was on years ago at this time of year, every year. And I just loved it because it shows the parents taking their children to Staples to buy school supplies. And while they're in there shopping, the music, "It's the most wonderful time of the year," is playing. And that just always cracked me up because by the end of summer, parent to parents, that is the most wonderful time of the year. So,
Not me. Not me.
No, never. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful year, a successful year, and we're here if you need us, but don't need us. I'm joking.
Oh, thank you so much. It just brings a smile. That song is in my head now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this year is a focus on positive impact. And I was so excited to read the information of teachers leading out teaching teachers. We have the experts within our districts, and the whole workshop that I was able to just view and the excitement that I saw that teachers were teaching other teachers. Teachers was leading out, lending their expertise. They were the conference presenters. They had their own type of motivation, and that's powerful. When we were at Eisenhower looking at the new building, the ground is open, the construction site, just seeing the progress. I think at this point when I looked at the, I took a deep dive into each of the schools with school plans for achievement, and I was looking at the positive numbers. You know, the more detail the school plan was, I saw that they had a increase. So we need to pull and say, what classroom is making a difference, not what's not. What's making, what teacher, what are they doing in that classroom? You know, from everything from just, you know, following each other teachers, check in, each schools were different creative. But there was a tear in my eye, and that's in special ed. And I think my son was in special ed in this district from 3 years old till he said, Mom, please, do we have to have another IEP? And the process was very, very, hasn't changed. It's very, very stressful, and it doesn't have to be. And then when I looked at the indicators across the board, they always put special ed there, but there was no action plan to it. And this is a year we have to put academic action plan to our special ed program. It's really having those teachers in that continuity of the teacher's classroom. I visited a couple of the teacher's classroom, and they were doing some wonderful things. They need to share what they're doing correctly. At our Divergent Game and Parent Summit, we need to really have a, not a on the sideline workshop regarding special ed. It needs to be front and center. It's time for us to really put an action to our special education, special services, inclusion. When I think of inclusion, the word inclusion is my child, you know, he had a special need, but he was included in the family. And most of these, you know, all these children, they're not in with a group of, you know, 10 or 20 people that have the same issue. They're in their families doing things within their family. So it's correct, it needs to be a process, it needs to be a method. But we need our special education teachers. I was looking at our universities that we really pull from. I don't know which one have a strong special ed program, that we need to get those special ed universities, teachers, credentials to come and do some internship so we can have that pipeline. We've been doing teacher to teacher and reach back and student teacher. Now it's time to get the special ed pipeline to really motivate them and have buy-in to our district. National Night Out was just hot and amazing. It was hot and amazing. And you know, when we were there, we were really supporting our community. But then I looked, I'm like, we were parking all over the streets and everywhere. And I'm like, you know, our schools really have the best accommodation. And so as we start opening up and doing things with the community and opening up our facilities, we need to sort of work to have more use of the parking and our big football fields so we can sort of bridge that gap with National Night Out.
They can't park in those new football fields.
Well, they can put the
They can
vendor
park
up.
in the parking lot.
Yeah, but the accommodation. And so when we're
No one's gonna go to Eisenhower, Nancy. It's okay.
All three of them
the
have
other
brand new football
okay,
fields,
and there's
so
an
we wanna
interruption.
protect them.
Okay, so then when I also was thinking about the middle college, that was just fantastic. When you have GPAs of 4 point and above, you really should be graduating with a AS degree. And so really seeing that middle college come to fruition, and we really need to, parents, if your scholar is ready to take some of these academics and our agreements with you automatically go to these universities, they have those college courses completed or their middle college, and I know we're capable of it. We really need to bump up that enrollment into that program.
Right.
That will save money and that will save time. And that will give them a really head start when they can go right into the four-year program. So I want to thank the team that really worked on the middle college and the teacher-to-teacher and the mentorship workshop, and everyone who really worked on their school plan, but we're really going to bump up our special education, have it academic, and have that IEP process not a to a And so as we really want to get a listening session to have, and most people feel that IE process is just how we can better that and work with our team, just listening and putting that as a high priority for this year. So, Ms. Martha.
Okay, President Lewis, we'll move on to public hearing. We have a public information item on page 25, cost of issuance, general obligation bonds, election of 2022, series 23. And we'll move on to consent calendar items. All items in the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action.
Is there any items that you want pulled?
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, and it'll be as amended. Do we have a vote?
Yes. Vote by Board Member Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
Mr. Montez.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly.
Aye.
Ms. Lewis. Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to discussion action items. Item F4, accept the United States Department of Agriculture Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program grant. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
This first allocation is in the amount of $60,609.92 for the following elementary schools: Venus, Boyd, Casey, Dollahan, Dunn, Fitzgerald, Eubanks, Kelly, Morgan, Morris, Myers, Preston, Simpson, Trapp, and Warner, with an implementation start date of August 10th, 2023.
Any questions or discussion? Vice President O'Kelly.
We're limited to those schools, or do the other schools have it already?
Do we have somebody here from Nutrition Services that could shine some light?
Hi, Fawcett.
Hi. Good evening, Dr. Avila, Superintendent, Board President Mrs. Lewis, and board members. My name is Fausta Ramon Davis, and I'm the lead child nutrition agent. So this is the USDA grant. So
Right.
We applied for all the 19 schools, and they decided which school they're going to be implementing this. So it's out of our hands. We applied for the same thing, the same reason, and they picked those schools based on the percentage, what we call ISP. But we are appealing the decision for the two schools, Garcia, I believe, and Curtis.
Can you,
Okay.
We're waiting for approval.
Can you clarify what ISP means?
Yeah. So ISP is the number of free and reduced, even though we're CEP, which is community eligible provision, we do have percentage of free and reduced, even within the same school. So they
Right.
look at those numbers, and then based on what they get from the USDA and the state, divide among the school side. And like I said, I put a thing in about a week ago, appealing the decision. So we're waiting for the result.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, we're grateful
moving
that
forward.
Yeah, very
those
grateful.
schools got
Thank
the
you.
grant.
Any other questions or comments?
Just
Thank
wanted to
you.
point out, it said the first allocation, so.
Yeah,
keep going.
yeah. This is first allocation. The second one probably is coming about $500,000. So
Okay.
and that should be in around October.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Are we ready for the roll call vote? Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F Drew, award bid number 2324-006 for vehicles. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Approve the award of bid number 2324-006 to Mountain View Chevrolet, Fairview Ford Sales Inc., Fleet and Truck Center, and Los Angeles Truck Centers LLC, doing business as Los Angeles Freightliner GBA Velocity Truck Center for vehicles at a cost to be determined at the time of purchase and to be paid from various funds.
Any questions or discussions?
No.
No? Okay, roll call vote. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F3, ratify a renewal agreement with Practical Medical Local Education Agency Billing Option Program. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Provide medical billing support effective August 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $190,783 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion? No? Okay, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F4, ratify an amendment to the agreement with Therapy Travelers, LLC, and 3 Courts Incorporated.
So
Move to
moved.
approve.
Second.
Provide special education and medical-related services to ensure compliance with students' healthcare plans and individualized education programs during the extended school year and summer school programs effective June 22nd, 2022 through August 30th, 2023 at an increased cost of $207,608 for a total contract amount not to exceed $608 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or okay, discussion? Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F5, ratify the agreement with Mine Garden Corporation.
Move to approve.
Second.
Provide AT assessments and trainings effective July 12, 2023 through June 30th, 2023 at a cost not to exceed $55,725 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F6, ratify an amendment to the agreement with Imagine Learning, Stupanic Virtual Academy.
So move.
Second.
This item is to increase the cost of the 2022-2023 school year contract by $21,600 for a total cost not to exceed $283,891.31 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F7, approve an amendment to the agreement with EduPoint Education Systems, LLC. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Amendment is due to an increase in the annual maintenance effective August 10, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, increasing the original contract agreement of $327,299.57 by an additional $6,491.92 for a total cost not to exceed $331,721.49 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, have none. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F8, approve a renewal agreement with N2Y LLC. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Provide curriculum licenses and professional development trainings effective August 10, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $73,358.22 and to pay from the general fund.
I have a question. Thank you so much, Ms. Johnson. So just the curriculum for moderate to severe, is this a software for the teacher? Is this a new curriculum and the training, the method?
So, good evening, President Lewis and Board Innovation Superintendent. I'm Jennifer Johnson, Lead Special Services Agent for Rialto. The curriculum for N2I is a unique learning systems curriculum. All our mod severe teachers are utilizing it and have been. So this is for the licensing to continue.
Okay. So that's the licensing on the computer.
There is computer, there's also stuff they can print out. It does the whole lesson plan, so it's a combination of both things.
Okay. And then during the teachers training and onboarding, I just noticed we have a lot of intern or substitute, how they're being trained on this particular system.
So both of our instructional specialists through our service area will work directly with the teachers in order for them to get the training and up to date.
Now, the substitute teachers, are they?
Yes, we also have our applied behavioral analysis who are very well versed in this particular curriculum, so we also kind of deploy them into our classrooms to help assist with all the substitutes as well. Most of our mod severe positions are not substituted right now with substitute teachers.
Okay. Thank you so much. Ready for any further questions from anyone? Okay. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F9, approve a renewal agreement with Pearson Clinical Assessments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Provide complete psychoeducational evaluations in order to meet federal and state mandates effective August 10, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $56,250 and to be paid from the general fund.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F10, approve the extension of agreements awarded through competitive solicitations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Approve the extension of RFP number 2122008, network equipment, bid number 2122012, HVAC units, and RFP number 2122013, online tutoring services for 1 additional year under the same terms and conditions.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F11, approve the contracts between the San Bernardino County and Rialto Unified School District related to the American Rescue Plan Act and the Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund.
Move to approve.
Second.
Accept a grant for $1.5 million for the Eisenhower High School Baseball Improvement Project and a grant for $1.2 million for the Rialto High School Baseball Field Lighting Project effective August 9th, 2023 through December 31, 2026.
Any questions or discussion?
Just a comment, we want to thank again the San Bernardino County, thank our supervisor, Joe Baca Jr.
Right.
You know, and
Thank
this
you.
is really gonna help so many students and the parents are gonna be happy to know that
Yes.
these much needed improvements are gonna be done to both these schools, both those fields.
Uh-huh.
And Ms. Roma spoke on this last meeting. With this improvement, we are going to make sure that it'll be accommodating with the ADA, and just furthermore that our special needs wheelchair will be able to have some outdoor play. So anytime we do an upgrade, we have to have that in mind. So it's not just for the able body, it's for the anybody.
Right.
Okay. So we thank you for just keeping tabs on that with our contractor, make sure it's sort of highlighted for them. Ready for the roll call vote? Okay, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F12, adopt resolution number 232407, authorizing filing of applications for the California Preschool, Transitional Kindergarten, and Full-Day Kindergarten Facility Grant Program for Rialto Unified School District.
So move.
Second.
Contingent upon receipt of these funds, the district will provide full-day instruction for the preschool, transitional kindergarten, and/or full-day kindergarten programs at the following sites: Boyd, Dullahan, Dunn, Henry, Morgan, Morris, Preston, Trapp, and Warner Elementary Schools pursuant to Assembly Bill 130, Education Code 17375, 8972, and 8973.
Any questions or discussion? I have a question. How many do we have enrolled? This is such a fun age. Do we have a little tentative?
Diane, do we have anyone?
And the next question, when you say full-time, that's from what are the full-time for kindergarten?
So for TK, it's a part day, and we have 575 students.
Woo! Yes.
For kindergarten, we have full day, which is a full 6-hour day, and we have about 1,400
Wow.
students.
And for our preschool?
Preschool's around 1,000,
1,000.
like 900-ish.
And then when is this supposed to start, or?
So this allows the district to apply for grant funding.
Okay.
Great. That's where the growth is.
Mm-hmm.
That is. Talking about grow our own, literally. That's what we're doing. Okay, any further questions or discussion? All right, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F13, adopt resolution number 232408, remuneration. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Excuse the absence of Board Vice President Nancy G. O'Kelly from the Wednesday, July 12, 2023 regular meeting of the Board of Education.
Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
And Lewis? Aye.
Item F14, deny liability.
Madam President, you could ask Ms. O'Kelly to give her the option. It's automatic abstain
Abstain.
for the record.
Okay.
Item
You're
F14, deny liability claim number 222310. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F15, deny liability claim number 222317.
So moved.
Second.
Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F16, deny liability claim number 222320.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
Vice President O'Kelly?
Aye.
And aye.
Item F17, reinstatements. Do we have a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Yes, this is what it's all about unanimously. This is the hard work putting in. When students make poor choices, they're not sentenced to life. If they complete their obligation and monitor, we like to thank that department for working with the families and the students to reinstate them in the school.
For case numbers 222355, 222327, 212281, 212273, 212258, EE 23241.
Okay, Board Member Dominguez,
Absolutely an aye.
Board Member Montez,
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez,
Absolutely an aye.
Vice President,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye. Okay.
We move to adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on August 23rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John Casalunas Education Center at 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's
So
office.
move.
Second.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez, Mr. Montez, Mr. Martinez,
Aye.
Vice President Kelly, and
Aye.
I. Time is 8:27.